A lot of people know about CDs. Now, of course, this is a CRW, not a music CD. But this is what I'm talking about. Music formats. Well, a lot of people know about these. And maybe some people know about cassette tapes. They came before CDs. But not a lot of modern people know about them. So let's see what modern kids know about music. I know that might have sounded very strange, but a lot of kids nowadays are getting into vinyls. Yes, these big plastic discs are what our grandparents and our parents used to listen to, and maybe even us modern kids. Now, even though modern kids are getting into vinyls, the problem with that is that vinyls are very expensive. Well, newer ones that are being, made today, obviously. Now, this one, and if I remember, this is from 1956. This is a Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin vinyl. I bought this at the thrift store for $3, and that's it. So, and my vinyl player was also bought at the thrift store, and it still works perfectly fine. But yeah, these gigantic discs are what, people used to listen to, and today. But again, prices are going up. So, where do you turn to get your vinyls? Now again, you can go to the thrift store, but you do risk getting broken vinyls. But if you go to the right thrift store, you obviously can get these. Now, these are newer vinyls. They aren't the originals, so they're kind of flexible. And they're plasticky. So let's see what older ones look like. Now, this is a old record. I have no idea what year this is from. Some people maybe in the comments can tell me this. And I'm also trying not to blind every single person who's watching this video because of this light. Yes, I have LEDs in my room. Anyway, these are a very thick vinyl, and my camera will not focus on the thickness of that vinyl. So, the difference between these and these is quite drastic. Well, that's that, and this is this. You see that difference? These are flexible and kind of okay. They sound decent. But these are hard as a rock, no flex in them, and yeah, they're ancient. I have no idea what year this was from. Now here's another one, same company, both by Columbia Records, and this one is the same way. I actually am hurting my hand trying to hit that, and of course, there's no flex. I mean, there might be a tad bit of flex. I don't really want to break that, so I'm not going to try. Now, of course, 12 inches are not the only record sizes that, vinyls came in. I have a Victor record. Again, I believe this is from the 40s, but I probably am wrong on that. I don't know what this date code is. I'm going to guess it's 1942, but I'm basically wrong on that, I'm guessing. Anyway, I believe this is also a 10 or 7 inch record. I'm not that great in records to tell you what inch size that is. But if you compare it to a 12 inch, it's pretty obvious that it may be a 10 inch record. And 10 inches are pretty hard to play on modern record players, as, this one is not, I don't think this is actually 10 inch because it doesn't have the, actually no, it's a 78 that has the big hole. Anyway, essentially, I cannot play this on my record player because it runs at 75 or something like that RPM, which is way too high for any mainstream record player to play nowadays. So you need a special player to play these. And also, these are still... It just broke. Yep, that just happened to me. Okay. Well... Shoot. I'm not gonna cuss, but I really want to. Well, this was expected, and yeah, that's that shot. Oh, dang it. Alright, well, of course, my first technology-ish related YouTube video, of course, is failing because I just broke my only whatever inch record this is. Oh my gosh, really? Also, I just realized that my camera is not set to internal or it's not set to my SD card, it's set to internal storage. This is fun, you know. Anyway, my phone might die soon, so I want to like end this video off. And I think the camera quality just got about 10 times worse. Anyway, that just happened to me. Yeah, my whatever record that is completely broken now. And yeah. Well, that sucks. And I was gonna say I was gonna end the video. That is not true. I am gonna move on to the CD section. And after that, we're going to move on to cassettes, and after that, I'm going to be finishing off the video. And I am watching the transition that I'm talking over right now, and it is very laggy. Holy cow. Anyway, back. We're back. And now we're on to the CD section. And I have many types of CDs here. Now, the first thing CDs were used for all the way back in 1982. Were music CDs. Now these are probably the best music format out there. Even vinyls and cassettes cannot compare. Well, vinyls can kind of, but they're still worse than CDs. Don't come after me. Anyway, this is a very dirty. Well, I know this is by Chicago, but not only were they used for music, they were used for CD-ROMs. Well, if you didn't burn your own one. I don't really have any proper CD. Oh, actually, hold on. I do. Give me a second. I had to dig this one out of my closet. If you cannot tell by the Lexmark logo here, it's a CD-ROM. And oh my gosh, is that extremely blinding. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna stop. But yeah, CD-ROMs were a thing. And the can I not? Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that. Anyway, yes, we used it for everything, and including software, storage, like files and stuff, pictures and games and music and blah blah blah. This is actually a storage driver for Windows 98. So, yeah. Because yes, indeed, I do have a Windows 98 machine. We'll get to that in another video, though. Back to the video. And here we are, the other end of my set with the stuff. But yes, we used it for this, and that was pretty much the end. So you would think. Well, of course, we have burned CDs. Now, this one is files, but people did use them for music. So, and I'm pretty sure that's illegal. So, yeah, it's very scratched up. But also, in this case here, we have a almost sealed CD-ROM. This, well, CD, not ROM. CD, RW. This thing is a finger prick magnet like no other. And, yeah. But I've already burned something on here and erased it. But I didn't mark it down because it's not permanent. But eventually I will. Also, it is... I just realized what I did. Okay. Well, I'm not going to cut this out of the video. Okay, there. But basically, CD-RWs are rewritable CDs. Anyway, on to the cassette section. We are in front of my Smith Corona word processor. And we are now on to the cassette section. Now, of course, we have musical cassettes. Now, this is a loose one, of course. This is off my set, which you didn't get to see in the last part, but whatever. Yes, my hands are over here, I know. Anyway, I'm going to go grab a musical cassette and a writable cassette. I'll be back in a minute. Here is a music cassette. Now this one's very stuck. I don't know why it just does that. It does work though. And this is by Mannheim Steamroller. This is a great one. Now I noticed something on here, and I don't think they were supposed to do that. And I don't know if it makes it rare. Anybody tell me? I don't know. But in here, if you look on part 2, it says Carol of the Bells. Now, I don't know if this is mainly like this or it's an error, but on the cassette itself, it says on the back here, it says Carol of the Birds, not the Bells. So if anybody can tell me why it says that, that could be an error or it could not, I don't know. I'm just thinking it's an error. But yeah, that would be very helpful. Also, there's multiple than one type of tape. This is a black tape, and I don't remember the difference between chrome and metal tapes. But, you know. But that's that, and I believe this one, yeah. Well, this, going on to the, I'm about to finish the tape, different tapes, but this is a rewritable tape, and they come in many different lengths. But as you can see, this has a brown tape, and now in my use, this is a better sounding and more sustainable tape. Also, it has a gigantic gash in it. I just realized that. But yeah, this is used for data storage and music and radio recordings. So yeah, that's it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. My first technology video in a very long time. Now, well, by very long time, I mean, I've never done one before. But you might know this channel as a train channel. Now, that will be coming on. Trains will be coming back to this channel. But for now, I want to see how this technology thing succeeds with my new house. So, we'll see. Also, about this, I bought this at the thrift store as well. And it works. You can't see it. Turn that off so I don't, use the ribbon or anything. But it's a very mushy keyboard, and it's from the late 80s or the mid 80s. I forgot which one. But anyway, look forward to this channel, and I'm not going to say subscribe, but if you want to, you can. And I'll see you guys in another video. Bye-bye.